Hare Krishna. So this is a very good question. This Varna Ashrama is a concept of social functioning, social and spiritual. So there are two things, the Varna and the Ashrama. Varna means color. So let's discuss first about that. So these four colors are divided into four types of what Srila Prabhupada translates as occupational duty. They are the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Now as Bhagavad Gita we understand, Krishna says, Chaturvarnam Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasa. These four kinds of Varna are created by Krishna only, and they are divided Vibhagasa by Guna and Karma, by the type of quality and the type of work, not by birth. So Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra are occupational designations. Modern day you may equivalent them to the learned, educational or academic people, Brahmanas, the intelligentsia of society, the planners and the knowledge givers. The Kshatriyas are the managers, those who actually manage things very nicely and get things in law and order and proper, make sure everyone gets their fair share. Vaishyas are the providers of society in the sense they produce things, and Shudras are basically the laborer class or the servants or the assistants who assist the other three. Okay, so everyone has their specific duty, and just briefly I'll mention that with that the Varnas they are known by their occupation. So generally we'll see in traditional systems in India, people have what we now call as caste name or surname, right? From that you understand what's a person's Varna. So, for example, if you have someone in the Brahmana category, there are many even ranges within Brahmanas. They are high, low, middle. But from the surname you'll understand. For example, if someone has the name Dikshit or Dikshitar, as they call in South India, that means their family were Kula Gurus for kings and all who gave initiation. Somebody's name is Joshi, or Joshiyar. Then you'll understand that this person was very good in seeing astrology. Yeah, if someone's name was Nambi, so then you understand these people were caretakers in the temple. So on and so forth. You will understand based their name based on what occupation. Similarly, for other varnas also was the same thing. Who was known to be the mm, uh, military head of landowners, even among Kshatriya and Vaishyas. So from that name, you'll understand what kind of duty they do. So this is natural in modern day society. Yes, it is relevant. We also have, if you take, for example, a university, you have your professors, your lecturers. They are like the Brahmanas. They're supposed to give the teach knowledge. Then the managers or the management, right? So they are like the Kshatriyas who manage the entire affairs of the college and university. Then you have the Vaishyas, those who actually do the fundraising and those who provide all the necessities which you need, right? Like food and landscaping. The Vaishyas do all that. And then you have the Shudras, those who actually work and as labor, as support staff or non-technical staff, you may call. Now, ideally, these four Varnas, they have their own specific duty and what satisfies them. For example, none of the three, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they take salary. Shudra is known by one who receives salary, working on payment basis. Brahmanas are very satisfied giving knowledge, accepting dakshina. Whatever they get, they're happy with it. Kshatriyas, out of their service of protecting people, Kshatrayate, by hurting, by protecting people like that, they would exempt taxes. Vaishyas, by doing trade, they will get their business, a businessman. Right? So none of them were salaried, or none of them was actually an employee. But the Shudra is an employee, right? They love to be employed. They are waiting, when can someone hire me and pay me? So that's the nature of the Shudras. So like that, if you see Bhagavad Gita also, there's so much explanation about this. If one is wondering what nature I am, so everyone has some nature. You can study Gita to find out. Recently, Her Grace Urmila Mati wrote a book, Career Dharma, in which you can kind of like, if you go into it, you can understand yourself. It is important to know what's my inclination. It's all a psychophysical blueprint. Like we got this body, with this body, you got some eye color, you got some hair color. Similarly, you got some nature. So, similarly, you also have some kind of a trait which you're inclined to. You're inclined to the academic world, you're inclined to the administrative world, you're inclined to the business world, or you're inclined to the service world. So we already have some blueprint. Nothing to be shameful, nothing to be shy about this. Shastras mention that the body of the Virat Purusha, the Supreme Lord, is compared to this four Varnas. where the head is to be the Brahmanas, the hands are to be the Kshatriyas, the thighs are the Vaishyas, and the feet are the Shudras. Everyone is important. So to the degree that we live according to our Varna, our color, to that degree we'll be happy. But when we start to imitate something else, we'll be very, very disappointed. Now let's see ashrama. Ashrama comes from the root word ashray, means shelter. So one seeks shelter. While the earlier varna was a social order, this is a spiritual order. Brahmachari means a celibate student life basically, where one undergoes some tapasya to train one how to live in life. So Brahmachari then at the end of his training under Guru, very systematic training of spirituality, shastras, and different kinds of rules and regulations and discipline, naturally at some point of time when he's graduating from the Brahmachari ashram, Guru gives him an option. He wants to remain as a brahmachari, what is called as a Naishtika brahmachari, lifelong brahmachari, or he can actually choose to get married, which is called as a Upakurvana brahmachari. So then he enters into the next, which is Grahastha Ashrama. So Grahastha Ashram, again, it is someone who's very nicely trained so that when they get married, they can also train others. Now, what is the qualification of entering Grahastha Ashram? If someone has a desire that I need a little wealth, I like some money, I like some luxury, I would like some, taking care of children, something like that, then to exercise those desires, one gets married. Sometimes people think that lust is a qualification. That is not. Lust is there in all living beings, right? That's not a qualification for anything. It is again psychophysical trait, psychophysical nature. So one becomes a grahastha. So grahastha, he lives a nice life centered about God because he's trained how to bathe, how to wake up, how to cook, how to eat, how to pray, how to regulate oneself. Nicely can train the wife, can train the children also in that way. And then after some years, when the grahastha's children are settled, now that person has an option of entering into vanaprastha life if he feels like it, because vanaprastha life means focused more now on God service. Family is all done, family duties, children are all big, they're married, it's all fine. And now the wife becomes like a voluntary assistant to the husband. So no more material life, now focus on Lord. In vanaprastha life there's a lot of tapasya, doing a lot of austerities, fasting, and a lot of bhajan, prayer. And if required, sannyasi is actually a life of dedication to the service of the Lord, where one renounces everything, the social identity, basically is socially dead, and travels around preaching the glories of the Lord. So, in this way, society was divided into such people. Now, is it necessary that we all become Brahmanas? No. In the sense, we're supposed to become Brahminical. As devotees, we should be Brahminical, but not Brahmana profession, right? And is it necessary that everyone become a sannyasi? No. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, we function in this Varna ashram, but we are not attached to the identifications of Varna and ashram. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Na ham varni, na cha grahapati, na pi. So like that he says, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not any of these 8 things. What am I? Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Dasa Dasanudasah. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the husband of the gopis, who is Krishna. So that is our real identification. But to function in society, since we have a material body, material mind, material ego, this Varna ashram kinds of makes it a little adjustable. But again, we should not become attached to this identification. This is just my material blueprint. Like I said, you got blue eyes or brown eyes or black eyes, straight hair or curly hair. You did not ask for it, but you got it, part of the package. Similarly, a certain kind of swabhava, a certain kind of nature we have acquired because of our karma or whatnot. So we just have to live with it. But no identification. A devotee doesn't become identified or attached to his Varna ashrama so called inclination. Understanding it's a temporary thing. Past life, I could be Brahmanically inclined, right? This life, I may be more business inclined. Nothing wrong. Whatever we do it for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the important thing. So whether one is a brahmachari, whether one is a grihastha, whether one is a vanaprastha, whether one is a sannyasi, everyone is working according to their psychophysical nature for the pleasure of Krishna. Therefore, everyone at any stage in any of the varna or any of the ashram, if they are practicing in their level, they'll be very satisfied and they can advance spiritually very quickly. It's a simple understanding. Like if, let's say, if your stomach is very hungry, you have not eaten the entire day, Can you chant? You're so hungry. You say, my God, I don't have money. I'm so poor. I need to eat. Then you tell someone, chant Hare Krishna. They'll be like, fill my stomach first. So this Varna Ashram system is for us to become materially satisfied. Not materially lavish, materially satisfied. So that we can focus our time and energy and attention on spirituality. So one who is situated nice in any of this Varna Ashrama, they're not attached to it, but they can nicely develop their spiritual. And then just give up this identification. Hare Krishna.